Have some breaking news to report. Much needed news, might I add. The New Orleans Pelicans have decided to part ways with Executive Vice President of Operations David Griffin. If y'all can remember, David Griffin was the Vice President of the Cavs with LeBron James when they won the championship in 2016. Everyone in New Orleans was happy. They were like, yay, we got someone to come in and fix this team, turn things around. Sometimes them big names don't always do well in new places. David Griffin has been a disappointment with the New Orleans Pelicans. He made moves, but it felt like every time he made a move, he crippled the team. He recently traded Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors for a Coke and a bag of chips. That crippled the team. Now I understand Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, they couldn't stay healthy and they couldn't get on the court together. Still in all, you don't let Brandon Ingram leave for nothing. They let Najee Marshall walk. He's a part of the Dallas Mavericks. You let him go to your rivals. That was an awful move. You got Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson, he was overweight the whole time David Griffin was there. Now all of a sudden, Zion Williamson seems like he want to win. He care about his body now. It's just been disappointment after disappointment with David Griffin. I never really liked him being the vice president of the Pelicans, though. It's just something about him. He looked up and won that championship. I don't think he really know what he's doing like that. You know, when you look at the team as a whole, they got some talented guys on this team. They should be up in the playoffs. But where they at? They at home. They on vacation. They got to sit back and watch everything. And that's not right because the fans deserve better. Not only that, David Griffin, he made moves, but he didn't make the right moves. Bringing in C.J. McCollum, that was a horrible move. They played C.J. McCollum at the point guard position for most of his time there. C.J. McCollum never played point guard when he was with the Portland Trail Blazers. Never. So from the start, the Pelicans were doomed. C.J. McCollum was out of position, and he never really felt comfortable, I feel. The Pelicans need a nice facilitator to set up Zion Williamson, to run some pick and roll. You could count on one hand how many times C.J. McCollum and Zion Williamson ran pick and roll together. The next guy who need to exit is Willie Green. I know some of the fans like him. He's a nice Christian guy, all that. He's not what New Orleans needs. We need a tough-minded coach who gonna implement a good system, who ain't gonna take no junk from anyone. We don't need the coach that gonna pat you on your back when you mess up. We need the coach that gonna stare through your soul when you mess up. We want the coach that gonna let you have a few words when you mess up. Willie Green is just not that guy. And because of it, the Pelicans are looked at as being a soft team. I could remember a game where Draymond Green, he cursed out one of the players on the team, and the Pelicans players started laughing. Ain't nothing was funny about that. You know what I'm saying? The culture that Willie Green got there right now, it has to go. It just has to go. Whoever come in there has to get rid of Willie Green. And they have to come in and put their foot down, man. Let the Pelicans fans know. We not going to accept not making the playoffs again. We not going to accept being the laughingstock of the Western Conference. It's time for whoever come in to take the cuffs off of Zion Williamson. Sit him down and let him know what you expect out of him. It's cool to go to the media and say the right things, but will you go out and execute? Be a leader. Be a man. Be the franchise player like you're supposed to. And I don't think Zion Williamson ever was talked to about being that. They just know he had that hype. You're going to come in and be the guy, and that was that. It takes more than that, you know? And I think whoever comes in, they better come in with the right mindset. I've been hearing that Joe Dumars may be the guy that could come in and fix things. He's from Louisiana. He's a two-time champ. He was Isaiah Thomas' right-hand man with the Bad Boy Pistons, you know, and he gets a lot of credit for turning the current Pistons to what they are now. Them boys are in the playoffs, have a chance to knock off the New York Knicks, you know. Joe Dumars would be my choice. Joe Dumars, he's a quiet guy, but he know what he be doing. That would be excellent for him to come home and build the Pelicans back up to where they need to be. He's known for drafting well. He's known for finding guys who folks may not be looking at, but has talent. You know, he's a motivator. And guys are going to respect the guy who done got it done. You know, players are going to respect him. This boy used to go at it with MJ on a nightly basis. He's one of the few players that could say he beat MJ. Just off of that respect right there, players are going to respect him. You know, his resume speaks for itself. Joe Dumars went to McNeese State where he was sensational. You know, he's one of the best players to ever come from Louisiana. I would love to see him become the executive vice president of operations for the New Orleans Pelicans. He's cool with Gail Benson. He's familiar with the situation. All Gail Benson got to do is make the call. And I'm pretty sure Joe Dumars would accept this opportunity, and he will do well with this opportunity, because the New Orleans Pelicans fans, they need this, and most importantly, they deserve this, man. They don't have nothing to root for. The New Orleans Saints ain't doing nothing. They got a new coach with them. It's time to rebuild with the Pelicans. Bring in a new coach, bring in a new executive vice president of operations, and let's get this thing turned around, moving in the right direction. This Sports Savvy TV. Y'all let me know in the comment section who you think the New Orleans Pelicans should hire as their new executive vice president of operations. I see y'all on the next one.